once again.
Homem clutch da temporada, Halliburton no jogo para lá.
자, 언더독인 인디애나가 익숙한 상황을 만든다. 할리버튼.
Tyrese Halliburton a distancia.
He's not afraid of the moment. He is the moment.
I mean, I hate to say that Richard said it best. He's not afraid of the moment. He is the moment. We are back here live in Oklahoma City. Welcome to NBA Today alongside Shanae Ogumake, Kendrick Perkins, and Richard Jefferson.
Hey, Richard.
I'm Malika Andrews. Richard.
It's just good to be with the fam. Look, I know Udonis got more hair. He's better looking and more accomplished in all the things.
Yes.
But it's good to be with the fam.
Can the button speak up a little bit? The side
back
view is
home.
crazy
when you
right
back
now.
home, you put your feet up.
The side view is ridiculous right now.
All right.
It's ridiculous.
Before we lose another button, should we get to last night? The electricity here in Paycom Center, it was absolutely insane until there was about 0.3 seconds left in the game here. Remember, Perk, Indiana trailed by as many as 15 points in the fourth quarter.
They did. Obi Toppin, the others stepped up huge. Miles Turner. Look at the side step. Did he call that?
Hey, Perk, we love it when you tap that glass. Let's go.
Don't be a glass kisser here. All right. Hey.
Nembhard
was huge, Chene,
Huge.
down the stretch. But as you mentioned, it's the others, as you always say, Richard, that need to win you a game.
Yeah, the others need to. And look at this, going to work. We know Cason Wallace. We know the defense he can play, but look at that. Shea fell asleep there watching the ball, and Pascal got underneath him. That was a big bucket there.
A huge play from Siakam to cut it to one here. And this is usually a shot that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander makes.
Yeah, that's typically one we see go down, but credit the defensive rebound, and then this is all she wrote.
I thought that this was going to be a timeout called here. Richard, you weren't so surprised.
So I wasn't surprised because you get two shots at the apple. You get two bites at it. If you miss it, offensive rebound, or if you miss it, you get a chance to call a timeout in advance.
An enormous shot here from Tyrese Halliburton. Here's how it sounded on the Korea broadcast.
언더독인 인디애나가 익숙한 상황을 만든다. 할리버튼.
They'll not sleep on these finals.
This is that was Gainbridge Fieldhouse the moment he hit the shot. And just
look at that.
Yikes.
Look at that. That's MJ Game 6 in Utah.
The ball's still in his hands, and they knew. Look at the Pacers fans celebrating here. Halliburton, the hero in Game 1, as we've seen so many times in these playoffs. Here he is with our Lisa Salters after the game.
This group never gives up. We never believe that the game is over until it hits zero, and that's just the God honest truth. That's just the confidence that we have as a group, and I think that's a big reason why this is going on.
We've been in positions like this throughout the whole season, not only in the playoffs, and we feel normal, and we know what we got to do, who we got to give the ball to, and just watch magic happen. That's it. So that's what happened at the end of the game.
And not just the end of this game. We've watched this so many times in these playoffs. He's now made 4 Halliburton has game-tying or go-ahead shots in the final 5 seconds this postseason. That's twice as many of those shots as any other player has made in a postseason since 1997. But, Richard, I don't even think the numbers cover it. You had a front row seat.
Yeah, no, it was impressive to watch. And I made a very fair and honest criticism. I said he can't put up tour dates, and I was 100% accurate. 3 minutes later, he raised his level. He got the ball and hit that big shot. That's what Tyrese Halliburton has really been doing all postseason. Do you want him more aggressive offensively? Especially after the 20 turnovers by his team in the first half. They slowed down. They started seeing the gaps. They started seeing the windows. And then what did they do? 5 turnovers in the second half, and then they got the ball to their closer. The whole thing is get it to your closer. That's what they say. If we can get it to our closer, we're going to be all right. And that's what the others did. The others got it to their closer. He stepped up in a big way.
He did. He did step up and knock down the shots. But it's the others again for me, right? Because you don't get to that last shot without the play of them to get you to that last shot. Obi Toppin, 17 points off the bench. Let me say this. Tyrese Halliburton is the most popular player on this team. He's the face. But the player that's been the best player on this team consistently has been Pascal Siakam.
The Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
You talk about having the first half, he was the one that was in the mix of things, and we expect that out of NBA champion. We have a lot of criticism, and we're critiquing why did Dagno make an adjustment to his starting lineup. You know why? Because it was the Pascal Siakam matchup. That's powerful. See, when you start to move the needle, you get in coach's mind, because he made that adjustment of going small because he was worried about who was going to go at Pascal. Pascal Siakam has not been getting the praise that he need. I get it. He won Eastern Conference Player, the Inference Conference Player MVP, but this man is on a mission. He's on a mission. He is the best player consistently on this Pacer team.
And if we're talking about circumstances that don't get the praise that they deserve, we should also talk about the Pacers defense. Because what led the highlights in all shows was the final shot, but really it started with the big stop. So let's dive into the tape as I show you exactly what happened on this game winner. SGA can make the shot in his sleep, but everyone knows it's coming. They load up Pascal with a tough dig. Neesmith able to dig off the nail. He had a shooter, J-Dub available, but instead we know this is automatic. But look at that ferocious rebound. Then you're off to the races. No timeout because we know this guy is clutch. Again, great spacing here. Instead of getting downhill, you had a wide open layup, speaking of Pascal. Instead, this is the money shot. It does not matter. It's almost like he blacks out when it comes to the final shot of the game. He just feels the confidence. He feels in rhythm. They know the spacing. They trust the system. But the system does not apply just offensively.
Right.
It was that defensive possession that, you know, it had me wondering too, guys. It had me wondering. I was like, no bigs on the floor. You need a rebound. You don't like. They were able to play their game when it mattered most, and it started on the defensive end and then led to another iconic shot.
Remember that Chris Finch sound that we talked about yesterday in the Western Conference Finals when he said we played this locker room sound where he said you need to take away Chet Holmgren, you need to take away Jalen Williams. Let SGA do his thing. That feels like what the Indiana Pacers successfully executed last night because Shea went for 38 points. He didn't exactly have a quiet night. But in the first half, you know what I was looking at? I was looking at the turnovers for Indiana. It did not really make sense. They had 25 turnovers on the game to the Thunder's 7. That 18 turnover difference, that's the largest by a winning team in a playoff game since the team turnovers
ever. Just say ever.
Tracked. Technically, ShortCenter's going to yell at me if I don't say it in the technical since 1971. But here was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander after the loss.
The series isn't 1-1, it's 1-4. So we have 4 more games to get. They have 3, and that's just where we are. We got to understand that, and we got to get to 4 before they get to 3 if we want to win an NBA championship, and it's that simple. It's not rocket science. We lost game 1. We have to be better.
Well, it sucks, but we have been here before. Obviously, like the Denver series, probably honestly around the same thing, to be totally honest. So it's 1-4. So regardless of if it's the finals or, you know, round 1, round 2, you know, you still have to win 4 games. So we'll take that and be ready for game 2.
Perk, you ran into SGA in the hallway after the game, right?
He was hot. He was hot. He was out. He was the first person out, and he was pissed off. And rightfully so, right? Like, this is who this team is, though. They got a lot of pride, and now I think it's personal, right? We talk about